school mock trial. We don't have a line drawn right there, but we never did have a middle school mock trial and never could find anyone to do it. And I think that would be it, but you can see whether they're on a SAC contract or Wallachia Auburn, and these would be based on the new base salaries for SAC and Wallachia Auburn. Activities director is on here, but it's not a percent of the base. It is a number of its own, and we give it the percent raise that the negotiated contract is. So I recommend that you approve those contracts that are held by the SAC school district under Schedule B.
So moved. Whatever that motion is.
I like it.
I did too.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 08-09 Schedule B contracts. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And those two sets that you approved made up the $81,230 on this costing sheet. Okay? So the 4.57 on Schedule A and Schedule B was the $81,000.
Moving on, administrative classified contracts.
Okay, when you take a look at the support staff or the classified staff and administrative salaries, secretarial staff are all included. Custodial staff is included. Mickey's not on there because of retirement. The new person is not on here because I have a separate contract for you to approve for the new custodian. Bus drivers are on there, and I would suggest that we, if you take a look at Phil's, there's no suggested salary there. It's just what his current salary is. I didn't have John put one in there. I think we need to talk about that based on the information I got from other school districts that are 2A side. Kit Williams, the nurse, is listed on there. The cooks, minus the cook that you will accept a resignation for tonight, and middle school principal and elementary shared principal. And you will see no associates listed on this sheet. We haven't completed evaluations, nor we sat down with every one of those employees to talk to them about whether we're issuing a contract or whether we are not. So I'll bring those to you in June. If you look at the bottom of the page, about just past the center there, at the very bottom where it says total, total increase is $17,160 for the people that are listed here. And our other total was $81,000, a little over $81,000. So that makes $98,000 of increases, about $98,500, and we had $105,000 of new money. Now remember, the transportation director wouldn't be on there, and none of the associates. And these would reflect the same percent raise as the classified or the licensed staff, which was the 4.57.
Barb, what are you recommending for Phil if we're going to a shared transportation or?
Well, I kind of hate myself to make a recommendation because it's really not anything I've talked with any of you about before. But if you go back to that front page, transportation directors, currently he makes $33,176. I faxed 11 schools that were 11 or 12 schools that were the same size as East Sac County, and their salaries ranged from $38,473 to $47,920. And there was about half of them that had single insurance and about half that had family. Because I asked about salary, weeks of vacation, so I know if they're full-time or not, and insurance. Bill's current salary is $33,176, and
He has no insurance.
he has, I believe, single insurance. He has insurance, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's not here. That's what I was asking.
Oh, I guess I know.
One thing that I didn't get to ask on the other one, because I didn't know exactly where to fit it in, but that means that Phil, when there's a bus down in Lakeview, he takes his tools and everything and jumps in a car or whatever, and goes down there and fixes it. And when there's a bus up here that has the same problem, that's the same thing that portion that we're gonna get down to Lakeview is really gotta have skilled
Yeah.
in case he can't do two buses.
Actually, I met, not I, but Phil and Larry Bunt, the current transportation director at Wall Lake Auburn. Phil, Larry, and I met with a couple of bus drivers from Lakeview, on Wall Lake Auburn contract, and they said, we volunteered to help out. A couple of the other guys that drive, 3 of the other guys that drive are people that have other jobs, so they drive really part-time, or one of them's retired and on I-person. He really doesn't want to do any more than just drive the bus. These other 2 guys said, one of us is more the mechanic and one would be more willing to get vehicles out and that sort of thing. And we sat for probably 45 minutes and just talked through different situations.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so what happens if there's something here going on that Phil's in the middle of and something breaks down there, and Donnie Kate said, you know what, give me a call. I can take off and go do some of that. And basically, they talked through probably everything from soup to nuts. There'll be some situation next year we didn't think of, okay? But they talked about that a lot. And Phil had already talked to them, so he kind of knew how they felt about all of this. But we just wanted to satisfy each other on this. Phil started today writing bus routes in Wall Lake Auburn, just so he knows where kids are being picked up and what the routes look like. Phil and I have talked a number of times, and at the end of every conversation I said, are you still okay with this? Because I do not want you to feel like this is being shoved down your throat. And if you ask him this, he'll tell you, he sees this as a nice challenge. He said, you know what, I think this will be good to take off and do this. And he said it's probably good to have one person kind of planning the whole thing until they start talking about ways to be able to cut some transportation for next year. That will still get done what we need to do, but to save us a few bucks. So he's talked about things like we probably need to buy an 85-passenger bus between the 2 districts and not take 2 buses sometimes, but take 1. And he thinks, well, Lakeview Auburn's paying way too much for fuel, and he's got some ideas for them. So he's been thinking about this and is okay with it. Now, the question about his insurance, I would have swore that he has insurance, but it says on here he does.
I thought he said no, that was my question.
I think he has single insurance, is what I think he has. I don't know where John got the note, but we'll figure that out.
You'd indicated that the raises were the same as the teaching staff. I did a number of calculations, and what I get, the percentages are all over the board.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. So, but like some are 5.4, 5.9, 5.2, 5.4, 4.5, 5 even. And I just did part of them.
Okay. So do you want to put these off for a month?
Well, I think what we need to do is, if we want to give these people the same raise as the teachers got, we make that motion, and then you
And
go
then
back
go back and correct these. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Because that's generally what we've done in the past.
Yes, I apologize for that, though. And that's what the motion could say. Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve a 4.57% increase for the support and administrative staff for 2008-2009.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a 4.57% increase for support staff and administration. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, now that comes back, still, that doesn't include the transportation director.
It doesn't include transportation director, nor does it include Mike Fisher, because he's in the 4.57 for the other personnel.
So do you have a recommendation for Phil? I mean, transportation director. I see the range here, or is that something you're really looking for us to just?
I honestly don't know.
Obviously, it's a new thing, kind of a new position for both. What's your guys' feelings on that, or?
Do some of these other transportation directors, are they also shared in between more than one site?